From the stable of Radio Nigeria Southwest, the time is 2:01.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the last edition of the World Today for the week. It is a Southwest network of Radio Nigeria, a Ibadan zonal station comprising news, feature, sports, and entertainment. Coming in the lineup, President Tinubu calls for stronger cooperation at Africa's CEO Forum. Former Sokoto State Governor stepped down from Senate race. And from the foreign scenes, Ebola outbreak claims 65 lives in DR Congo. Finland ends drone alert. My name is Feyi Shara Owomoyela. Not alone, reading with me is
Tobilo Badalano. You can also listen to us on live stream via www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng or watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Unity is paramount to every society. Let us focus on what unites us. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has urged African nations to prioritize a stronger economic collaboration within the continent, stressing that Africa's growth and prosperity depend largely on deeper regional partnerships, trade integration, and investment in local businesses. President Tinubu made the call while speaking at the presidential panel of the Africa CEO Forum held in Kigali, Rwanda, where he addressed political and business leaders on the future of economic development across the continent. In a statement shared on his X handle after the event, the Nigerian leader said Africa must focus on building internal economic strength rather than relying heavily on external markets and foreign partnerships. According to him, African countries must create opportunities for businesses to scale across borders through increased intra-African trade, improved infrastructure connectivity, and stronger support systems for the continent's youthful and innovative population. He said Nigeria's ongoing economic reforms are designed not only to address current challenges, but also to position the country for leadership in the future African economy.
President Bola Tinubu has urged the members of the All Progressives Congress APC to avoid rancor as the party begins its nationwide primary elections today. In a statement personally signed by the president, he described the internal polls, which begin with House of Representatives primaries today and end with the presidential primaries on the 18th of this month, as a test of the party's unity and resilience. President Tinubu expressed support for efforts by party stakeholders to adopt consensus candidates in line with the provisions of the new Electoral Act 2026. He described consensus as a commendable option capable of reducing tension within the party. The president, who said constituencies unable to reach consensus should conduct peaceful contests, warned winners against gloating, and urged unsuccessful aspirants to accept the outcome peacefully. The president appealed for greater inclusion of women and young people in the primaries and urged party leaders and voters to give the group special consideration during the exercise.
Former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal has withdrawn from the 2027 Sokoto South senatorial race and handed the ticket of the African Democratic Congress to former Commissioner for Finance Farouk Malami Yabo. Confirming the development to newsmen, the Sokoto State Publicity Secretary of the ADC, Mr. Lamir Aminu, said Senator Tambuwal sacrificed his ambition in the interest of peace and stability within the party. He said Senator Tambuwal decided to relinquish the ticket to promote harmony and strengthen internal democracy in the party. He noted that most of the party's House of Representatives tickets in the state had also been given to younger candidates. Senator Tambuwal was regarded as the leader of the ADC in Sokoto State, was said to have stepped down to preserve unity within the party following consultations and disagreements over candidate selection ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun is formally presented the Senate representing Ogun West Senatorial District, Olamilekan Adiola, to stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ogun Central as the party's consensus governorship candidate for the 2027 election in the state. Governor Abiodun made the presentation during a stakeholders meeting held at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena. The governor said the decision to support a candidate from Ogun West was aimed at promoting fairness, equity, and political inclusion across the state's 3 senatorial districts, noting that Ogun West had yet to produce a governor since the creation of Ogun State. Prince Abiodun explained that the consensus arrangement followed wide consultations among party leaders and stakeholders and was later ratified at the APC State Caucus meeting in Abeokuta, where Senator Adiola received unanimous endorsement. The governor also announced the endorsement of the senator representing Ogun Central's senatorial district, Shuaib Salisu, as the consensus candidate for Ogun Central ahead of the 2027 elections. Governor Abiodun described the development as a reflection of unity and political maturity within the APC in Ogun State and urged party members to remain peaceful and committed as the party's direct primary elections commence on Friday. In an acceptance speech, Senator Adiola appreciated party leaders and members for the confidence reposed in him and pledged not to disappoint the people, while promising to work for the continued success of the APC in Ogun State.
The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, says foreign nationals arrested for illegal mining activities and suspected security-related concerns have been transferred to the Office of the National Security Advisor for further investigation. Speaking during an interview with newsmen, Dr. Alake said the move is part of ongoing efforts to tighten enforcement in the solid minerals sector amid a rise in international scrutiny. He said the suspects were being handled at a higher security level due to the nature of allegations surrounding their activities. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development noted that foreign nationals arrested for illegal mining activities and suspected links to terrorism have been handed over to the Office of the National Security Advisor for further investigation, Alake said. He added that the government has intensified its nationwide crackdown on illegal mining operations, leading to hundreds of arrests. According to him, the enforcement drive has also led to ongoing prosecutions and major regulatory actions in the sector.
A consultant pediatric ophthalmologist at the University College Hospital Ibadan, Dr. Adetola Ogunbiyi, has raised concern over increasing cases of childhood eye cancer known as retinoblastoma, calling for greater public awareness and early detection to save children's sight and lives. Dr. Ogunbiyi made this known during an interaction with Radio Nigeria to commemorate Retinoblastoma Awareness Week. Dr. Ogunbiyi described retinoblastoma as the most common eye cancer affecting children, especially between the ages of 0 and 3 years. She explained that this disease is often linked to genetic mutations where a child may inherit a faulty gene from a parent, or the mutation may occur spontaneously as the child grows. Despite being considered rare globally, she noted that Nigerian hospitals still record several cases. She emphasized that early detection is key to successful treatment as it can help preserve vision, save the eye, or most importantly, importantly, save the child's life before the cancer spreads. She listed warning signs to include a white glow in a child's eye in photographs, squinting, persistent redness without injury, shrinking or bulging of the eye, and advised parents to seek immediate medical attention if noticed. The pediatric ophthalmologist who admitted that cost of treatment of retinoblastoma was high, appealed to government and people generally to assist children with the ailment to get care.
The Oyo State Commissioner for Police, Mr. Olugbemi Gabimbola, has solicited the support of journalists in the state to enable the police discharge their duties effectively. Mr. Abimbola made this call during a courtesy visit by the executives of the State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists to the State Police Command Headquarters in Ibadan, the state capital. The CP noted that the long-standing relationship between the police and the NUJ had yielded positive results over the years. It described security as a collective responsibility, stressing that police relied heavily on credible information to carry out their operations successfully. The commissioner, who recalled his early days as a curb reporter with Radio Kwara, said misinformation had become widespread and could only be addressed through professional journalism. Earlier, the NUJ State's chairman, Mr. Hakeem Abbas, had commended the commissioner for his achievements in the Nigeria Police Force. He attributed the relative peace being enjoyed in the state to the efforts of the police, praising the command for crime prevention and arrest of suspects.
Still in Oyo State, the police command has recorded a major breakthrough in its ongoing efforts to combat kidnapping and other violent crimes across the state, with the arrest of a suspected kidnapper and recovery of exhibits in Oyo. A statement signed by the Command Public Relations Officer, Mr. Olayinka Anyolade, indicates that the development followed credible intelligence received in the early hours of Wednesday, the 13th May 2026, through the Vigilante Group of Nigeria (VGN), indicating that a gang of suspected kidnappers had assembled at Otefun village, Forest, to collect ransom from relatives of a kidnapped victim. Acting swiftly on the intelligence, the Commissioner of Police, Olubenga Yodele, directed operatives of the anti-kidnapping squad in the Oyo Ishenyi axis, in collaboration with the Vigilante Group, to move into the area to ensure the safe rescue of the victim and apprehend those responsible for the crime. Preliminary investigation revealed that the gang had earlier abducted one Alhaji Bagudu from his residence at Ilowa village in Atiba local government area on the 9th of May 2026 and demanded a ransom of 10 million naira for his release. In a carefully coordinated operation, security operatives prioritized the safe release of the victim before advancing towards the kidnappers. Upon sighting the approaching team, the suspects opened fire, leading to a gun duel. The hoodlums fled into the forest with the suspected gunshot injuries, while one suspect, Muhammad Sani, was apprehended. Recovered from the scene were a Hajj motorcycle with registration number TUT8240Y, believed to have been used for the gang's operations, a mobile phone, a pair of slippers, and a cab, all undergoing forensic examination. The suspect is currently in custody and assisting the police with useful information, while efforts are ongoing to arrest other fleeing members of the gang.
The Ekiti State Police Command has arrested 11 suspected political thugs in Ikwe-Ekiti ahead of all the Progressive Congress APC primary election for the Federal House of Representatives scheduled for 15 May 2026. Commissioner of Police CP Falade Adegoroye Michael told journalists that the arrests followed credible intelligence received on 14th May. The information indicated that a group of armed hoodlums was sighted inside Onikoyi Hotel, Ikwe-Ekiti. Operatives of the Rapid Response Squad RRS condoned off the hotel and arrested 7 suspects: Adekunle Stephen, Adepoju Adebayo, Boluwaji Shola, Oluwatobi Adeoluwa, Akintunde Emmanuel, Adewale Makonjola, and Ibitola Babatokpe. Others escaped in 3 vehicles. Items recovered from the group include 2 pump-action guns, 1 Beretta pistol, 9 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 4 live cartridges, substances suspected to be criminal charms, 2 Apple laptops, and a Honda Accord car. Police later intercepted the unregistered Toyota Sienna bus carrying 4 of the fleeing suspects, Abanikonda Sikiru, Dayo Ibijoro, Ajayi Dele, and Adegbite Damola. A pump-action gun was recovered from the vehicle. During investigation, the suspects allegedly confessed to being hired by Honorable Davidson Akinlayo, the serving member representing Moba Ilejemeje Idosin constituency, to disrupt the APC primary election. The command said efforts are ongoing to arrest other fleeing gang members and their sponsor. The suspects will be charged to court after investigation. CP Falade warned residents to remain law-abiding and avoid actions that could threaten peace before, during, and after the election. He said the command, in collaboration with other security agencies, will deal decisively with anyone attempting to breach public disorder. Public order. The statement was issued by SP Abutu Sunday, ANIPR, Police Public Relations Officer, Ekiti State Command, on 15 May 2026.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA have uncovered and dismantled tunnels and caves used for illicit drug trade and storage in Kano State. The development was confirmed in a statement and video on X by the Director of Media and Advocacy, NDLEA, Mr. Femi Babafemi. According to the statement, the cave and tunnels were discovered in the Rimen Kebe area of the state, and 19 suspects were arrested during the operation. The operatives were seen in the accessing tunnels and discovering mats and pillows, indicating that the location was being used as a hideout and living shelter.
This is the World Today, the stories that made the headlines. President Tinubu has called for stronger cooperation at Africa CEO Forum. Former Sokoto State Governor has stepped down from Senate race. Still to come, Ebola outbreak claims 65 lives in DR Congo. Finland ends drone alert. We'll be right back.
Glad to know you're still with us on the last in its series of the World Today this week. And now we move to the foreign scene, starting from DR Congo, where a deadly outbreak of Ebola virus has been confirmed in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, African health authorities. The African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC Africa, in a statement on social media explains that 246 suspected cases and 65 deaths have been reported, and 4 deaths have been reported among laboratory-confirmed cases. Africa CDC is closely monitoring the situation and convening an urgent high-level coordination meeting today with the DRC, Uganda, South Sudan, and global partners to reinforce cross-border surveillance, preparedness, and outbreak response efforts, it said. The contagious hemorrhagic fever has killed some 15,000 people in Africa over the past 50 years.
We move over now to Finland, as Finland has stood down its defense forces after sounding an alarm over suspected drone activities in its airspace. The authorities have said that suspected drone activity above the Helsinki region no longer posed a threat, and that the situation was returning to normal hours after launching an emergency response, including the launch of fighter jets and closure of the capital's airport. The alarm illustrates the tension stalking the region as Finland and the Baltic states eye Russian aggression and daily missile and drone attacks amid Moscow's continued war on Ukraine.
Okay, now to answer news on the World Today from the stable of Radio Nigeria. Here again are the day's top stories. President Bola Tinubu has urged African nations to prioritize stronger economic collaboration within the continent, stressing that Africa's growth and prosperity depend largely on deeper regional partnerships, trade integration, and investment in local businesses. Former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal is withdrawn from the 2027 Sokoto South senatorial race and handed the ticket of the African Democratic Congress to former Commissioner for Finance Farouk Malami Yabo. From the foreign scenes, we reported the deadly outbreak of Ebola virus has been confirmed in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, African health authorities. And lastly, Finland has stood down its defense forces after sounding an alarm over suspected drone activities in its airspace.
That's it on the world today. Join us on Monday for a fresh edition of the program. Modupe Toba edited. I am Tobiloba Delano, and from my colleague
Feyi Shara Owomoyela, thank you for listening. Do have a beautiful weekend. Good afternoon.